Okay, here we go. All right, so in our AP classroom, I want you guys to open the assignment that says essay review. It's Google Slides. All right, and this is what it should look like. Okay, so I hope yours looks like this. It says the exam essay writing. So if you're having any trouble pulling that slide presentation open, y'all let me know. Okay, and so the first 3 slides are a review of what I had hoped that video told you, but remember I posted the wrong one. I posted a shortened version of it, so. Okay, so when we are, hi Favor, we are on the slide presentation that's in our Google Classroom. It's called the essay/review. Okay, so when you get this essay prompt, you need to write a thesis in response. In order to do that, you're going to need to read the prompt carefully and ask yourself, what are the tasks? Then you're going to need to make sure you answer the question. You need to make a defensible interpretation, not just restating what the prompt asked, but you need to make an argument about what choices the author made and why. And then you need to note any poetic or literary techniques, that figurative language stuff that we've been discussing. Good morning, Aaliyah Allen. Happy to see you. Okay, that's Aaliyah Chandler. 2 Aaliyahs, I know, it's crazy. So, okay, then I hope I have that right, actually. Okay, then we have evidence. As you're reading the text, remember if you have a short story or the first 2 essays are going to give you the text. They're going to give you the poem and they're going to give you the text from the novel or the short story to look at. That third one, you have to come having known something, okay? So as you're reading it, you're looking for chunks of evidence as you read. So be judicious. You don't want to mark everything, but you do want to mark stuff that you think is important. Then for your commentary, you want to make sure you talk about why this evidence that you picked is significant. All right, there's a reason you picked it. Make sure you talk about that. Make sure you talk about the relationship between the evidence you picked and your thesis. Remember, you're making this argument. The author is doing this for a reason. So how does your evidence support that? And finally, you want to make connections. This is advanced, but you want to make connections to the commentary elsewhere in your essay. Like I said, with this other example, this example does the same thing, okay? So you want to be making those connections. All right, we have some new friends joining. I will post this video, I promise. Aaliyah Chandler's now up. Hi, Paola, how are you? Okay, does anybody have any questions on this? We're gonna look at thesis, evidence, commentary. Seems pretty straightforward, am I right? Okay. Aaliyah and Favor, do you guys have that PowerPoint pulled up on your computer or did you just join the meet? Okay. Okay, go to classwork. Go to AP exam review. And the second item says the essay review. This is the PowerPoint, okay? Or the Google Slides. Pull that up. We're going to do this together, okay? But it's a grade and we've got some questions to answer, okay? So let's look at where it says prompt 1. Is everybody with me? Prompt 1. Here's what a prompt from the last AP exam I have access to said, okay? Question 1 is about a poem. So here's the question. Here's the prompt. Carefully read P.K. Page's 1943 poem, The Landlady. Then, in a well-organized essay, analyze the speaker's complex portrayal of the landlady. You may wish to consider such elements as imagery, selection of detail, and tone. Okay, I did not give you the poem to read, but we can already start this essay. What are the tasks in the prompt? And by tasks, I mean verbs. What are the verbs? You guys can type them in the chat, or you can say them out loud. What are my verbs? What do I have to do? Is anybody looking at the word read saying, I think that's a verb? It is a verb. So here we go, let me highlight that. So you have to read. You have to read the poem. That's your first task. So right here where it says, what are the tasks in the prompt? What's your first task? You need to read. You guys writing this down?
So we have to make a copy?
Nope, I just did. You are fine. It already made a copy for you. You should be able to do this right in there, but I am worried that if I do it, it's going to show up on yours, and that's not what I want. I want you to do. So what's my first task in the prompt? I have to read. Okay. But that's not my only verb. Carefully read PK Page's 1943 poem, The Landlady. Then, in a well-organized essay, what's my next verb? What do I have to do?
Which one are we doing right now? Breaking down the experiences?
No, that is a video that you watched. You should be in the Google Slides presentation that says the AP exam.
And you know on yours is only showing the AP exam essay writing?
This is what I want. There you go. Thank you for telling me that. You're good. Yep, click on that.
We don't have to make a copy?
Nope. I did it right this time. Shocking, right? I'm about 50% or less for accuracy. Okay, so we are on slide, I think, 4, Favor. How are you guys doing out there? My online friends, how are you doing? We have read, and then we have to analyze the speaker's complex portrayal of the landlady. You might wish to consider, that's something else we can do. The elements of imagery, selection of detail, and tone. So what are my tasks? I have to read, I have to analyze. The portrayal of the landlady. I have to consider literary elements. And then there's kind of a hidden task in here that's not stated, but in this well-organized essay, well, how is that essay going to happen? What verb do I have to do to make an essay happen? I have to close, Favor. I have to write. I have to write it, okay? So I'm going to read, analyze, consider, and write. Those are the tasks I have to do for this one essay. Does that make sense? Leah Chandler, this makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Favor, you with me?
I'm trying to study.
Okay.
And,
Consider, exactly. And then write. Write isn't stated, but it's implied. You're not going to get an essay unless you write it, okay? All right, so what poetic techniques or devices should I be looking for? The prompt tells me. What should I be looking for? Imagery. What else should I be looking for? Tone. What else should I be looking for? There's a third one there. Okay, so there's a lot of devices that you could write about, but if the prompt is telling you to look at these things, why waste your time? Look at these things. Those things are going to be there. You with me?
yeah, it's just kind of typing so like
That is okay. I will wait. While I wait, let me see how my online friends are doing. I don't think I've said hi to everybody yet. Valerie, Isabella, Keely, how are you guys? Nathan, happy to see you. Who else is on here that I haven't said hi to? Israel, I hope I've said hi to you, but I can't remember. Sorry, but I'm happy to see you guys. Let me see how y'all are doing. So right now you should be typing stuff on prompt 1. Easy grade, y'all, because we're doing it together. But my God, it's going to talk. Okay, Keely, let's get on that and start typing. If you go to our classroom, under AP Exam Review, we're on the one called the Essay-Review. If you pull that up, you'll get some Google Slides. What I want you guys working on. All right. Devin, you should be answering on slide number 5. Monalia Allen, you should be answering on slide number 5. Paola, you should be answering on slide number 5. Is nobody doing this with me?
Yeah.
Thank you, favor. No. Nathan, you're not doing it? Come on, y'all. We're doing it together. Thank you, Israel. Come on, Jimmy. You want to type that in? We're on slide 5. Yay, Kennedy, I see you. Thank you. Okay, when you're done with slide 5, come on, Aaron. I want you to work on slide 5. When you're done, we're going to move on to slide 6. So I'm going to stop. I'm checking. Thank you, Ariana. Ooh, Ariana is already on slide 7. She is way ahead of me. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to slide 6. This is prompt 2. This one would be about the section from a short story or a novel, okay? They're just going to give you a small page and they're probably going to ask you about character. Carefully read the following excerpt from William Dean Howell's novel, The Rise of Silas Lapham. Then in a well-constructed essay, analyze how the author portrays the complex experience of two sisters, Penelope and Irene, within their family and society. You may wish to consider such literary elements as style, tone, and selection of detail. Okay, so what are the tasks? What are my verbs? To read first. You got to read, okay? And then what's my next task? Why am I doing that? To analyze, right? And then what is my next task? Huh? I think so. To consider. And then we've got that well-constructed essay, so we're going to write. Exactly, precisely. Okay. It's the what we're, you guys are noticing the pattern here. You're always going to have to read. You're always going to have to analyze. You're always going to have to write. It's that what you have to analyze that's going to change. And in this case, it's the relationship between two sisters. Okay, what poetic or literary techniques should you be looking for? Good. Style, tone, and selection of detail. Okay? There's no imagery in this one. So if you were looking for imagery, you would be wasting time. There might be imagery in it, but that's not one of the main points. Okay, so
even if we see it, we don't.
You could, but make sure that you talk about style, tone, and selection of detail.
So in the post, like in the comp,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna pretty much tell you what you're going to do for.
Yeah, this test isn't meant to trick you. It's not meant to fail you. It's actually meant to help you so that you can show off what you can do so they can say, yeah, you deserve college credit, okay? So even though it feels like tests are tricky and punishment and, you know, supposed to be hard, that is not what this is, all right? we, as someone who grades this test, I grade AP Lang, not AP Lit, but we want you to do well. So we're pointing you, we're giving you all the clues we can to point you in the right direction. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, let's look at this last prompt. Prompt 3 is that open prompt where you have to come having read something. And we've read 2 things this year, okay? We've read we've read a lot of things, but we've read The Picture of Dorian Gray and we've read The Taming of the Shrew. Those are 2 longer works. So let's look at this prompt. Select a novel or play or epic poem in which a character holds an ideal view of the world. Then write an essay in which you analyze the character's idealism and its positive or negative consequences. Explain how the author's portrayal of this idealism illuminates the meaning of the work as a whole. Okay, my verbs are a little bit different here, y'all. What are my verbs? Select. That's the first thing I got to do. I have to pick what I'm going to write about. Okay, then what do I have to do? Before analyze, we actually have write an essay, right? And yeah, they threw it in this time. Then we have analyze. Okay, and then what do I have to do? I have to explain. Yeah, that's a lot. So I have to select, analyze, explain, and write. Okay?
Miss, what do we call movies play?
Why do we call what?
Like a play.
Why do we call it a play?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so play means a lot of different things, right? And sometimes it means to like interact with another person, right? And so I think that's essentially what's happening on stage. You have people pretending and acting, right? I mean, I don't know. We'd have to trace the etymology of that word further. And I love etymology, so we can dig into that. But yeah. It could be possible that the reason why we call play, like kids playing today play, is because of the word play. Like maybe the play, Shakespeare's play form came first. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I love etymology, but y'all, that's not for everybody. The origins of words. Okay, so what are my tasks? Well, we've got them highlighted. We have select, write, analyze, and explain. Okay? Now, here's my question for you guys. Which one would you use to answer this prompt? Where are you going to find your idealistic character? The character who views the world as a good place. Are you going to find that character in The Taming of the Shrew, or are you going to find that character in The Picture of Dorian Gray?
Probably The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Okay, who is the character that's idealistic and sees the world as a good place?
I forgot most of their names. I don't think, I mean, at first, Dorian said
Dorian sort of feels that way at first, but who, if you can't think of the name, who is it? Who is that character in the play?
The painter.
The painter. His name is Basil.
Basil, yes.
Okay, Basil Hallward. But if you can't, again, as someone who grades this test, we're not going to mark you off because you can't remember the character's name. If you can describe the character, the painter, Dorian's friend and mentor, those kinds of things would let me see. Okay, so he would be a perfect person, perfect to use in that, right? In response to that, okay? So you guys can just fill that right in. That's exactly who I would use to favor. Okay, all right, does anybody have any questions about the exam and how you would approach it, okay? Pretty straightforward. And if you did these slides with me, it's an easy 100 for you guys. Okay. Let me just run through the list. I'm going to call your names out and see how we're doing. Aaliyah Allen, Aaron, Ariana Mitchell, Ariana Payne, Devin, Stephanie F., Isabella, Israel, Jimmy. How are you guys doing? Does anybody have any questions? Keely, Kennedy, Nathan, Paola, Valerie, are we good? You guys have any questions for me? It's silent out there. Okay, great. Thanks, Ariana. Okay, for those of you who joined late, what we just did is in our AP classroom, we did the essay dash review. Okay, awesome, Ariana. I will post this video so you guys can watch back through it if you need to, okay? But I just want you guys to know kind of how to approach the essay, all right? Here's the next thing you have to do on that test. You have to read actively, and this AP live video is going to walk you through how to do that by some expert AP teachers, okay? People who've been teaching AP a lot longer than I have. The video is kind of long. It's about 45 minutes. So if you are a student who is having issues with internet, bandwidth, that stuff, if you will let me know, I will find an alternative assignment for you, okay? Please do not waste your precious minutes watching this ed puzzle, okay? But if you can, if you have internet, if that works for you, then, hey, Taylor, then that's what I want you guys to do right now, okay? I believe I have finally posted the right ed puzzle, and you guys should be good to go. So you'll watch it, and then I'll count that as your grade. And then remember, we will be asynchronous the next time I see you, which is Wednesday, okay? I'm not giving the test, but you are not on campus because you will be doing band stuff, okay? Not band stuff. You will be doing senior activities, and there's STAR testing on campus, okay? That is the biology day, I believe, is Wednesday. And then the history day, I believe, is Thursday. So we'll be asynchronous on Wednesday. And so if you can, it'll be the same format. We'll review this reading, and then I'll have another ed puzzle for you guys to do. So if you miss because you're doing your senior activities, no problem. You'll be able to watch the video and get caught up. Yeah, Favor.
The one I clicked into is 30 minutes.
Okay, not the breaking down the exam.
Okay.
The one above it that says how to dig deeper. The breaking down the exam, I messed up. I posted the shorter video. I did not mean to do that. Oh well. But I just sort of reviewed you on everything we missed, okay? So you're gonna watch this, how to dig deeper and read actively. Okay, if nobody has any questions, then I am going to stop recording.